Now, in other news, 2 oil tankers have sunk off the coast of Bataan recently. And of course, there's an oil spill to contain. And to talk about that, we have Greenpeace Philippines climate campaigner, Mr. Jeff Chua. Sir Jeff, good afternoon and thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon po, Pauline and Lord.
Magandang hapon po, no? Ako, Pao?
Go ahead.
Sige. Okay. Nasa isang interview na narinig namin na sinabi mo na, okay, ina-upload ng Greenpeace yung efforts ng Coast Guard at least, ano? Pero medyo skeptical kayo kung gaano ka-updated yung sinasabi nila na the situation has been contained at sarado na raw all 40 valves. Pero kayo, kahapon mismo raw, nagpunta ka doon mismo, Sir Jeff, no? Ngayon, ano ba ang assessment at considering, sabi mo, na dahil sa nag-iiba yung hangin, yung tide, yung direksyon, posibleng pumunta na ng Cavite. Sir, ano ba yung extent ng damage na po kaya?
Right. So, tama po, no? Medyo mahirap po talaga yung prediction, no, with this oil spill, especially since may low pressure area na nga tayo and the monsoon is currently affecting yung currents and also yung wind doon sa area, no. And siguro for further context, yung naging statements din ng PCG, no, on the valves being closed, parang sabay-sabay nangyayari, no. Kasi alam natin na nasa Limay yung spill na ito. And they're working there, but also because the leaks were there, no, since the sinking of the ship, no, patuloy tumatagas yung oil na to, and it has really spread, no. If we look at the Philippine Space Agency's satellite photos and also yung validation sa Karagatan Patrol ng Oceana, no, nakikita natin na multiple areas na nag-spread. Most of these are in Bulacan and as you said, Lord, no, sa Cavite, no. And ayun po, yesterday we did go there. Nagulat kami kasi sinabi ng fisherman, no, na around 5 kilometers away from the shore pa siya, pero around 3 to 4 kilometers nakita na namin, naamoy na namin, no. And nagulat kami na ganun pala kalaki doon. So we immediately took the photos and published them. So yung extent ng damages, no, for this is really right now economic, no. A lot of the fishermen doon sa pinuntahan namin sa Isla Tibagin, hindi na lumalabas, hindi na pumapalaot dahil sa oil na to. And we did ask them kung ano yung potential impact, no. Sabi nila around 8 to 15,000 pesos per day yung nawawala because of not going out to sea. And we know na for oil spills, very long-term ang damages ito kapag hindi siya na-contain agad-agad.
Halimbawa, sir, kung i-compare mo, no, yung sa 2006, yung sa Guimaras, ano po yung mga epekto ng oil spill doon na hanggang ngayon are still felt?
Okay, so 2 levels, no. So first is biodiversity. It took years for some areas to fully recover. Sa Kabutihang Palad, no, may nag-recover na, especially yung mga mangroves doon. But it took years. If I'm not mistaken, no, I think it took maybe 5 to 8 years para fully recovered na, and there are a lot of indicators that you need to prove para fully recovered ng isang lugar, no. So that's the first level, yung biodiversity, medyo matagal, no. And siguro yung pangalawa na epekto dito in terms of recovery is paano natin makakompensate yung lost livelihood ng mga fisher folk, no. As we have seen in the previous oil spills dito sa Pilipinas, no, napakabagal ng galaw ng hustisya para sa mga fisher folk natin. If yung sa last year sa Mindoro oil spill, no, it's only this April na nasimulan yung compensation schemes for the fisher folk. It took 1 year, no, para ma-compensate, and even worse for Guimaras, no. Kausap namin yung ilang mga partners namin sa Guimaras last year, and sabi nila may iba pa na hanggang last year wala pang compensation, no. And imagine, napakatagal nun, so I think yung access to justice for fisher folk isa ito sa mga mas mahirap, no, at mas long term kailangang ma-recover sa mga tao na apektuhan ng oil spill.
Sir Jeff, you're talking about yung compensation nga and it has been reported that the insurer of MT Terra Nova has been moving to pay for damages naman dun sa mga naapektuhan nga. Pero sir, ano po ba usually yung compensation na binibigay nga ito dito sa mga fishermen, pati na rin po sa nagki-clean up nung oil spill?
Yeah. Usually economic losses, no, yung kino-compensate. Minsan yung computation, it can be a number of days lost and set against ito sa usual incomes ng fisher folk, and of course yung valuation ng mga catch, no, which is why, for example, ngayon I think a few weeks ago napasa na yung PENCAS law, no, yung natural resources accounting law, essentially, at kailangan natin talaga to para mabigyan ng value, no, ang mga for example, for dito, no, yung mga pinsala, no, and unfortunately yung mga computations na to aren't shared in public, no. They enjoy some form of confidentiality then with the claimants, no, and medyo in the dark tayo kung ano ba talaga yung itsura ng mga compensations. Although it's clear, no, na may some relation siya sa economic losses na experience ng mga fisher folk. Pero ayun, fact remains, no, na matagal ang proseso na to kasi the burden of proof unfortunately, no, still lies doon sa fisher folk, which is another level of injustice, no, na bakit kailangan pa sila yung mag-prove na ganito yung damages at kailangan sila yung mag-prove na ito yung nawala sa kanila para makuha nila yung compensation when in the first place hindi naman nila kasalanan ang disaster.
Kailangan yatang rest back ng Rainbow Warrior, no, sa pagkakataon nito. Pero marami pa sana kami gusto itanong, pero thank you po. Sir Jeff, maraming salamat po, sir. Talagang tunay na people versus oil ang sitwasyon natin, part pa rin ng company nila. Thank you, Sir Jeff.
Maraming pong salamat.
Alright, yan po ang Greenpeace Philippines campaigner, Mr. Jeff Chua. Thank you, sir.